Welcome, fans, to the Game 4 recap with Rangers Ed. This is your host, Cousin Ed. I'm here with Little Ed, Mikey Produces, and Coach Ed. Coach Ed in Jacksonville and Mikey Produces spot. Looking good over there. I see you're downstairs. I can see the backyard this time, not up in the office. That's good. What's up, boys?
What
How we
up?
doing?
How sweep it is, baby. How sweep it is. They never stood a chance.
Very nice to finish them off.
Crazy game. The Rangers win 4-2. They sweep the Capitals. Not the Rangers' best game, but they got it done. Artemi Panarin with a power play goal in the third period gives the Rangers the win. Obviously, a game-winning goal. That was big for Panarin. He came into this game with only 1 point in the series, a goal in game one, so he gets a goal and an assist and finishes the series with 3 points in 4 games. Kind of put that narrative to bed that he can't produce in the playoffs, gets a big goal. Yes, it was a power play goal. I get it. But power plays happen, and he buried it. Rangers finish it off with an empty net goal by Jack Roslovic on the power play as well. But I want to talk about the first minute of the game before we get into the next series and whatever. Kaapo Kakko, the goal 57 seconds into the game after Nick Jensen turns it over, his first game in the series coming back from an injury. How big was that goal by Kaapo Kakko, who I thought has played a great series? That whole line has been fantastic. Wenberg, Cooley, and Kakko have really been awesome all series. They had no goals coming into the game, and they got one on the board early, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, Kakko didn't hesitate, put it in. I've been hoping that line got some positives. I mean, they've been playing real well, like we've been saying, and it was nice for them to get a little exclamation point on it.
Yeah, Little Ed. I mean, we talked about Wenberg a lot during the regular season after the Rangers acquired him, how smart of a player is, how he's good on the forecheck. He's like a quiet player. I really noticed it tonight. Several key plays, I thought, especially in the third period, when Washington was pressing. He's just so calm with the puck, clears the zone, knows how to use his body to create space when he has the puck, right, to get that little extra second to clear it. Good on the forecheck. Yeah, he's not going to put up a ton of points, but I thought Wenberg was really a star of this game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, Drury definitely didn't pick him up at the deadline to put up a ton of points. He picked him up at the deadline to do exactly what he's doing now. Like you said, he just makes the smart, right plays. I mean, shout out to what you've been doing on Twitter. I saw you made a comment, or on X. I saw you made a comment about all the little things he does. And it's definitely something that the casual fan or all you fans out there should pay closer attention to. And, he's not going to put up a ton of points, but he's always going to be there in the slot in the defensive zone, helping out or behind the net, making the right plays with the puck in the neutral zone, things like that. It's very rare it's very rare to see him with the puck on his stick and it ends up on the other team's stick. Very, very rare is it a bad decision.
Yeah, Coach, what are you seeing with Wenberg? I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on Wenberg, who had no points in the game, but I just really thought he was really impressive tonight. I mean, you pay a lot closer attention to a playoff game than you would a regular season game. Obviously, we watched him pretty closely even in the regular season, but I just thought he was extra noticeable in this game, just making those little plays all game.
Well, you have a player that does all those little things right during the season and just steps it up a half a notch or a notch in the playoffs. He realizes the importance of every face-off, every shift, and he doesn't stop. He's in good position. His compete level on the board battles is there every time. He's guarding open men in front of the net. I mean, he's just that kind of a player. And like Eddie said, that's the reason why. Now we have, look, Washington, we beat them. They're a weak team. We got lucky to draw them. But shutting down Ovechkin for the series was very big. The whole team, whoever was out there, did it. And guys like Goodrow and Wenberg were a large part of the victory. Look, were they close games? Yeah. They could have went either way. Ovechkin could have got 2 power play goals, and it's 2-2. So I don't care what the score is. Playoffs are playoffs. You got to win them no matter how you win them. No overtime games, 4 wins, and we move on.
Yeah, the Ovechkin thing, let's talk about that. So Alex Ovechkin, Obviously, he finished the regular season really strong. Washington's power play was first in the league after, I think, the trade deadline. Ovechkin, 41 goals away from breaking Gretzky's record. No points in this series and only one shot in the first 2 games. I mean, I think the Rangers' game plan was kind of just shut him down and let somebody else beat them, and nobody on Washington really could. I mean, you saw some spurts from McMichael and LaPierre, the 2 young players, the 2 centers for Washington. They look like they're going to be good players, to be honest with you. LaPierre, a hell of a play on that second goal. I was really impressed with both those guys, but the Rangers just outclassed the Capitals after Ovechkin. I mean, Coach, I tried to pay attention, like, what are they doing on Ovechkin? And I didn't really notice anything. So I have to question, just as an observer, was he disengaged? Do you think he's just kind of checked out? He's got his cup. He's just, he's 41 goals away. He wasn't expecting to be there. Or do you think he's old? Or do you think they did something? I don't know. What's your take on the Ovechkin situation?
I just think the Rangers did a very good job of keying on him, like you said, that you shut him down. They have no other threats, and our 3 lines. Look, the power plays. He was on the point. He didn't get near his office for that shot. He was down low. They had him covered, so they move him out to the point. He stays up there, draw a little attention. Nothing got to the net. So they were moving him around, trying to create something. He was trying to fake guys into, sleep and then move around. And they were very conscientious of what they were doing. Like I said, they didn't win by 3 or 4 goals, but they played what they need the way they were supposed to, and they shut him down. That was their only threat they could have to get in the series.
Little Ed, it just seems like every time Ovechkin took a shot, Jacob Trouba was there to eat the puck. I tweeted out during the game, there was one play in the third after Trouba made a terrible play that led to a power play for Washington. He blocks a shot on the power play from Ovechkin from like 50 feet out, and I just tweeted out, he ate that like a chocolate chip cookie. Like he just literally, he just stood in front of it like with his arms open and just took it in the chest like Happy Gilmore taking a pitching machine. It's like,
yeah.
It was impressive. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what – I was trying to pay attention. I'm like, what are they doing on Ovechkin? I didn't really see them double teaming him. Maybe on the power play, a guy stayed with him and they created a 4-on-3. I saw that, but I didn't really see anything crazy like I saw Washington with Panarin. But shutting down Ovechkin has to be the key to this series, right? The reason they swept Washington.
It was definitely a team effort. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Rangers. I see a lot of comments on YouTube here. We'll try to get to them all on Instagram as well. But like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Rangers. But like he just looked very uninterested this whole series to me. I mean, he's definitely on the older side, without a doubt. But there's a lot of guys in the league that are the same age as him that are performing much more and that want it still. Like you look at like Joe Pavelski, like players like that, like they're still performing at a very high level. I know Sidney Crosby's technically 2 years younger than him, but they came in the league around the same time. I mean, Ovechkin, it's always been a thing like, oh, he doesn't take care of his body. He's still able to do all this. Like, look at him. He has a hot dog in between periods. He drinks Dr. Pepper. That shit catches up to you. Like it was cool for a long time, but now look at Sidney Crosby compared to Ovechkin.
Yeah,
like
big difference. I mean, the Rangers lucked out playing Washington over Crosby because the Rangers didn't particularly play well in maybe 3 of these games. This isn't going to cut it right long term, but they did what they had to do to win the series, and that's all you got to ask for as a fan. So, they got some time to rest. Guys like Trouba, who I think is hurt, honestly. I mean, that play by Trouba, I know a lot of fans out there are very critical of Trouba and I think he's like brain dead. He's not a brain dead player. He's a very smart player, but he's not the most mobile defenseman. His mobility, Coach, you called it towards the end of the year. He looks like something's bothering him. It looks worse than it normally is. So maybe, the Rangers will have like a week off here, hopefully, depending on what happens in the rest of these series. And maybe Trouba can rest up and get ready for probably Carolina.
I mean, I thought he was throwing some pretty good hits out there as well. I mean, I think he's got some kind of. Remember last year or the year before, he had that same thing where he couldn't push off a certain way. We noticed something was going on. He might be tweaked a little bit, dealing with some kind of a sprain, but he's still getting involved on the wall. And he was with Ovechkin battling in front. He made a giveaway. I saw it too, but all right. A lot of guys made a giveaway. It wasn't the only power play that Washington had. It happens. He did a lot more positives than negative, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And Trouba, I know is Little Ed, that's your boy. Mikey, I know Trouba's in your fight club or should be if he's not. But other than that bad play, which is highlighted because it led to, a scoring chance, good penalty by Gaudreau on that play. I thought Trouba was really good. I really did. I think Laviolette leaned on him on the third pair. He played every penalty kill. He started the PK.
He did excellent on the penalty kill.
You can't argue his ability on the PK.
Yeah, he saved at least one goal.
Blocking shots and a very underrated skill is getting the puck out of the zone.
Yeah, getting it out, clearing the puck.
When the puck is on Trouba's stick on the PK, it's getting out of the zone. He's not babying anything. He's not trying to flick it out. He's just firing it down the ice and killing the clock.
Yeah, and I feel like all three of our right defensemen are really good at getting the puck out, and all three of our left defensemen are struggling with it. Miller, Lindgren, and Gustafsson, I feel like they have trouble. But Fox, Schneider, and Trouba just know how to get it out. So I feel like just whip it that way and just let them clear it,
Yeah, but, a lot of positivity in Instagram for Trouba. JC Merlino, Trouba had his best series as a Ranger. Bad mistake late, and just about his only error all 4 games. Christopher Soto, dude's a warrior. Everyone has physical issues this late in the season. He's playing hard.
Yep, can't disagree. You gotta love Trouba's game. I mean, look, it's the playoffs. You could talk about skill, and you guys know if you listen to this podcast that I'm a big proponent of getting skill players. I think that's how you win. You need skill players, okay? But you also need a team. And guys like Trouba round out a team. I mean, you got to be able to block a shot when you're up 3-2 in the third period. Artemi Panarin is not going to be that guy, right? Keandre, not going to be that guy. It's just not. I mean, he might, whatever. Trouba, Schneider, Lindgren. That's how you win at the end. Right, Coach?
No, I love it. They got right now they got a well-rounded 4-line team. And like I said last game, they're playing well enough to win. They won 4. They will tighten it up against Carolina if they play Carolina. They play those games tougher. They're not going to be playing the same defensive mistake game that they played. I don't think. I think they're going to tighten it up. They realize it. They know what's going on. They will remind each other. That's why they have those veterans. And they'll be a different team. And let's not. We didn't even mention Shesterkin.
Yeah.
He made a lot of big saves in this game.
Man, he was the best player in the series, I think.
For sure. He's definitely the Conn Smythe if they finish today.
He's the leading Conn Smythe. I think I would probably put Zibanejad in that conversation. He's got 7 points in 4 games. We've been begging Zibanejad to step up when Panarin gets shut down. I feel like Washington has really dared the Zibanejad line to produce by shutting down Panarin, and he has. And a lot of it on the power play and shorthanded, sure, but he's put up the points. So you really can't complain about how he's putting up the points, but Zibanejad has been really good as well. And he's also a little more physical, Little Ed. I noticed he threw a few hits on the forecheck, Zibanejad. Do you notice that?
Yeah, he's definitely showing a lot more energy. I lost a comment. Someone said, "Can we talk about?" Oh yeah, RJ Caraballo. Thoughts on how bad the first line played tonight? I mean, I don't know. I would like to see a little bit more. We saw Kreider throwing the body around and a lot of energy in Game 3, right? Coach Ed gave him the player of the game late in the episode, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more energy out of that line overall. But yeah, I mean, we said it on one of the other episodes, or I guess it was probably our playoff preview, is if Mika and Kreider just go even the whole series pretty much, and just producing the power play and the penalty kill, we'll be happy. I mean, they weren't directly involved. Did they score? Who scored the shorties? It was Zibanejad assisted Miller on the shorthanded goal.
And
So
Goodrow.
that was big. And then Goody got the other one.
Yep.
And then obviously they got a ton of power play points, so it's hard to complain about anything after sweeping the Capitals. We all picked the Rangers in 5, and they all surprised us a little bit and swept.
Yeah, I mean, you look across the board. The Rangers, after tonight, Kakko had no points coming into the game. He scored. Panarin had 2 points. Fox got an assist, so he got the 2. So you got 15 Rangers with a point in this series. 15 players on the team out of 18. I mean, that's pretty good in 4 games. They didn't go 7, so you got 15 players on the team in 4 games with at least a point. That just shows you the depth this team has. And it's going to be a lot. I mean, everyone's worried about the Hurricanes. It's not a foregone conclusion they win that series. The Islanders are going to be a tough out for Carolina, much tougher than Washington was. And look, they were a tough out. They played well tonight. For sure, they outplayed the Rangers, I thought, overall. The Rangers just have more skill. But the Hurricanes are going to have to deal with that. The Rangers are a team with 15 guys who got a point in 4 games. That's impressive.
And not only that, who are the guys that didn't get a point? Did Cooley get a point? Cooley played a great series.
Cooley, Lindgren, and Schneider and Wenberg did not get a point.
They're due, Sam.
Yeah, they're due. They're due. Remember, Joe Micheletti said at the beginning they're due, and Kakko came and scored in 40 seconds in. And if those are the 4 guys that aren't scoring, those 4 guys are playing good hockey.
Yeah, they're
Not
fine.
only do we have 15 guys scoring, we have 4 guys who aren't scoring that are playing very well.
Yeah, all those guys are doing their job, right?
It's a good sign.
Our boy Ryan Farrell's got Vinny, Mika, or Igor right now for Conn Smythe.
Good call, Ryan. We got to talk about Vinny. How are we going to talk about Vinny? 3 goals in the series.
He is all over the ice the entire
He's
game.
He's freaking great.
He makes the defensive play, then all of a sudden he's in the neutral zone for the breakout pass, like for his own breakout pass. It's like what?
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
He's just a good hockey player, man. He does everything well. And the Rangers' game-winning goal, Artemi Panarin gets it on the power play, is all created because Vincent Trocheck wins that faceoff. That's it. Period. End of story.
I think he was 72%.
And look, I'm guilty of it.
Tonight.
Yeah, no, he's over 70
in the 3 games.
Yeah. Wow.
Before tonight, they said it before the game.
He's over 70 for the series. But my point is, I said it early in the year. We got to get Laffy on PP1. You got to do it. And they kept Trocheck there, and they're critical of that. And yes, Laffy's probably more talented than Trocheck offensively. But I understand as time went on, as the Rangers power play kept succeeding, you start to see why Trocheck is on that power play. That faceoff win was so key in that spot in the game. 2-2 game, 3rd period. First of all, Panarin dove. Can we all admit that was a dive from that power play? I thought it was.
I don't think so.
I don't know if it was
he got the stick between his legs. He caught him off balance. Panarin was
watch it
I don't
again.
think it was a dive.
I'll send you the link. It looked like a dive.
I saw the play. I saw the replay. I don't think
I'll send you the link.
I'll send you the
I'd
link.
be the first one to say he dove. Trust me.
I want you to see it again. I just want you to see it again and tell me after you see it again that it's not a dive. And then I'll say, okay.
I'll tell you right now, it wasn't a dive.
It was a little bit of a dive. But anyway, they got the call.
Kevin Shields says wasn't a dive, but definitely an extra roll. So
all right.
We call it the Panarin extra roll, the bread roll.
It's a little mini flop.
Roll, yeah. I love it.
What?
Little mini
Flop.
Little cousin Ed flop. It looked like you when we played outside when you got hit in the thigh. You went down.
Yeah.
Rolling around. You were rolling
No.
around.
Not like when I tripped on that divot and fell into the boards and broke my hip.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh no, there was nobody near me when that happened. I did that myself.
Those are the scariest types of injuries when no one's around.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, so Trocheck wins that draw. My point is he won that face-off, coach. How forget he's producing too. So it's not like he's on the power play, he's winning draws and he's not getting any points. I think he's got 2 power play goals in the series now. Or 3, all 3 of his goals on the power play. That's got to be.
Oh, what do you mean? He's not scoring even strength. Forget it. He's not doing well then.
Oh, yeah. Nobody. The Rangers won this series at special teams. I mean, that's been their MO all season. You said it before the playoffs, coach. I said they tighten up the whistles. You said not anymore. I gotta admit, you're right. Like they call
a lot. Penalties. They call a lot of power plays.
I mean, they miss a lot too. They definitely miss a lot.
The same as the regular season. I haven't seen a difference in anything.
No, me either.
But I feel like we say this. I feel we say this every year with round 1. And then I feel like as it goes on, it gets a little bit more chippier and chippier.
Yeah, let's see. Keep an eye on the next round. We'll see what's up. But
yeah.
All right, Tom Wilson. Let's talk about Tom Wilson. Man, this guy. Let me tell you. I'm reading articles for 2 days about how Matt Rempe, the NHL needs to do something about Matt Rempe. He's such a dangerous player, the way he hits people, blah blah blah. I'm reading all this stuff from all these authors and all these Twitter posts. And yet, Tom Wilson, after Fox gets a knee-on-knee from Nick Jensen, after the Rangers take the lead, comes up to Fox, puts him in a headlock, starts – what do you – that's what needs to be gone. Like, if you want to talk about changing hockey, let's evolve as for – you don't get the Matt Rempes out of the game. You get the Tom Wilson nonsense out of the game. Am I wrong? Or am I being a homer?
Oh, 100%. I don't even know. Even if Fox said something, which he probably looked like he said something to him, it didn't call for that.
He's a loser. He's just Belichick.
If you want to stop the nonsense, like you said, then that should have been called another penalty, and maybe he would stop it.
No, they did call a penalty
on the wrist and just go back to the bench.
They called him for that. No, Coach, they did. They called him on that.
Oh, they did. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Yeah.
No, but that's the kind of stuff that the league should be looking at and saying we got to put a stop to. Because you know what? Kreider and Trocheck rushed over, helped Fox, broke it up. But what if they didn't? Or how far would Wilson go? I mean, he's a loose cannon.
He already body slammed Panarin. Who knows?
I don't see Rempe doing that. Rempe's penalties are the kid's playing hard. He throws a hit. It's a borderline hit. Right. I mean, that's his penalty, which he can work on. You can educate, get him better. But like Wilson, that kind of nonsense leads to injuries. That's where you get a mucker injuring a skill player in a playoff game after a goal is scored. They're celebrating. Nothing's happening. It's not like it was a scrum in front of the net. Yeah. I was really,
right.
I was
out of nowhere.
I was livid. I'm sorry. I don't want to go on and on about it, but. That was right after it looked like, oh God, as Fox did, he hurt his knee again. We already went through that this year. I don't need that happening again. He comes out, they score. I'm feeling good. And then I see that crap. And I'm just like, this team is going to go down and take one of our guys with them. That was my fear. But the Rangers held tight. They held tight.
Yeah. K-Miska92 on Instagram said, but I was told Rempe would prevent tough guy Tom from doing stupid stuff.
Well, I mean, he mostly did throughout the series, I thought. But look, the whole narrative that enforcers, and I'll let you guys comment on this without talking too much, but the whole narrative that enforcers are there to prevent or deter other players isn't really the way the game is anymore, in my opinion. I think you got a guy like Rempe there to instill fear in the D. So they turn the puck over. Right, so they go back and they're looking over their shoulder, and they don't have an easy clear out of the zone, and you can establish a forecheck. That's why you want a guy like Rempe there, not to deter some guy from doing it. That's my opinion, Coach. I don't know if you agree.
I think it's a combination of both. And I think they played it smart. I kept saying all night, if the Rangers get a 3-goal lead, something was going to happen. They never got to that point really the whole series. And the coaches are smart enough to not have him out there and not give Washington a chance to get an extra 2-minute penalty power play where the series could be prolonged. So I think the coaches did a good job. Rempe has a good attitude, like you just said. He's not that kind of a player that's going to go out and just start throwing his fists at everybody. And he's proven that, all the fights he had were pretty much challenges by the other team. Not like he's going out there jumping guys and, jumping on their back and just defending himself.
Yeah, Mikey, how bad did you want Rempe to fight Wilson in that?
I was ready for it.
Oh, I wanted
to. I thought he was going to fight him. But it was a 2-2 game, and going into the third, I understood.
You can't risk it. Yeah. In the playoffs, you can't risk it. You're losing a regular season game when you're leading the league in points. That's one thing, but you can't risk it right now. That could be a turning point in the series and give somebody life that you don't need to do.
Yeah, when that happened, right. What was that? 3-2 Rangers when Wilson was running around like an idiot. It was only 2-1. Yeah. Either way, a one goal game, like Coach had just said, that could change the whole turning point of the game. Then all of a sudden, it's 3-1 Rangers the series, and then all of a sudden, oh no, the Capitals won another. Just end it. There's no reason for him to do something stupid. I'm sure the coaches are telling him that too. I mean, Rempe has a lot of jobs, but in this case, his job was just to sit on the bench and let the Rangers the rest of the team take care of business and get the win.
That's something that maybe next season, first game against the Capitals, they put him out there the first shift and they drop the gloves and go.
Right, let him settle it next year in a meaningless November.
As my father used to tell us when we were playing, he used to tell me and your brother, your father, but your brother, my brother never sunk in. He said, "There's a time and a place for everything."
Yeah, that's true. There sure is. That goes for everything in life. But all right, let's talk about Rempe real quick and look ahead. Obviously, the Rangers got some time off here, so we got a little bit of a break. If the Rangers play Carolina, a team with speed, they don't really have a Tom Wilson, and Filipino is ready. Does he draw in? That's going to be a hot topic in the next week. And then if not, I mean, look, everybody's assuming it's Carolina, but the Islanders won a game in double OT, and I watched that game, and they fought hard. I mean, they're not going to go down easy. Carolina's going to have to step it up to take out the Islanders because they're going to fight to the bitter end. So if it's the Islanders, do you play Rempe? I think the answer, in my opinion, depends on the opponent and obviously whether Hedl is actually ready or if they're just blowing smoke to the media and by having him practice. I know what you guys are going to say, but go ahead and say it, Little Ed. We'll start with you. If it's Carolina versus if it's the Islanders, is it Rempe? Is it Hedl? Is somebody else coming out? What's your thought?
I said it to my friend texted me yesterday, the day before. I guess it was last game. He said Rempe's got to come out if Hedl's ready. In my opinion, Hedl does not replace Rempe. All right, that's a completely different player. It's a completely different role on the team. If we're talking about Hedl over like Roslovic or someone like that, that might be a different story. But in my opinion, Hedl's not even replacing Wenberg right now. You can't change up this lineup. I'm sorry. I don't care how ready Hedl is. All it's going to take is one hit for him to be sent right back to Czechia. I hate to say it, but I just don't see it. I don't know how all of a sudden he can go from taking a bump in optional skate earlier this year, never mind earlier this season, earlier this calendar year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden step into a playoff game.
Not even a malicious hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I mean, look, I see Ryan's comment on YouTube about Hedl coming in and playing LW3, meaning Will Cooley would drop to the fourth line and take Rempe's spot on the fourth line. So Hedl would take Cooley's spot on the third line. So it'd be Hedl, Wenberg, and Kakko on line 3, and then Cooley, Goudreau, and Vesey on line 4. That makes sense to me, right? That does. I could see that. I agree with you. Hedl's not taking Wenberg's spot. I'm not pushing Wenberg to line 4. Wenberg's playing too well. And he's clicking with Kakko, so I'm not mixing that up. I think Rempe could be a liability against Carolina. I mean, they're a different team than Washington.
They're
They have
faster team.
they're faster. They have I think the top ranked power play or second ranked power play in the league and top ranked PK. They're top 2 in both. So the Rangers don't have the special teams edge that they have against Washington. I could understand it, but I could also see your point. You know, you just swept a team. Rempe's a big story. He's a big part of that, Coach. I mean, game 1, why change it? Let's see how game 1 goes and then kind of assess, right? Maybe that's the way to approach it.
The other reason why the Edel situation doesn't make sense to me because the Carolina series is going to be physical as hell. They're a hard team. They have some skill, but they're a check finishing team. Everything is hitting. The defense is going to take a beating.
If I remember correctly, didn't Hedel get that hit was against Carolina?
Yeah, it was against Jesper Fast, who's ironically out for the playoffs. Ironically, he's out for the playoffs, so that's funny. But
I don't think Foss did it. It wasn't a dirty hit by no means. But the point being, you know, Carolina's a series that's going to be open ice hitting, hitting on the walls. Everything's going to be dumping it in, banging. And I personally, if you want to take Rempe out, I was going to say this before that maybe he doesn't play against Carolina. I would maybe put Brodzinski in, get a little bit more speed and forecheck on their D. That'd be my opinion if you wanted to switch things up a little and take Rempe's penalties out of the equation. But
okay, Coach.
I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. If Hedel comes in and lights it up, then I'll say I was wrong, but I don't see it happening.
Brodzinski, also, the career AHLer versus Hedel, who had 45 points last year. That's your decision?
Hedel hasn't played a game. Hasn't played a hockey game in how long?
Well, let's see. I mean, look, I think he's going to draw in at some point, guys. So just get yourselves ready for it and get ready to root for the kid because it doesn't seem like you're rooting for him.
I'll root for the kid, but like
it doesn't seem like you root for him.
Putting him in a position to fail.
And when he gets when he gets hit and he gets concussed, then you say they shouldn't have put him in.
Yeah, then
we'll put everybody else on X.
I would not say that. I agree that would be stupid.
You'll say maybe they shouldn't have put him in.
There's going to be a lot of people saying that.
I won't say that because the only way he draws in my opinion, is if him waiting does not decrease the risk of injury. If him sitting out more and waiting till next year decreases the risk of long-term injury, then he shouldn't play. I agree with that, but that's up to the doctors. I'm not a doctor. Ask EA the PA, right? See what she thinks. I have no idea.
Even up to the doctors because they don't even know.
Well, they have a better opinion than I do. I mean, yeah, but Coach,
they don't know.
Okay, Coach, if you get arrested and you ask me my opinion on whether you'll win a trial, that's a much better opinion than if you ask a stranger on the street who, you know, isn't a lawyer, right? It's still not a guarantee.
That's a different opinion. No, wait a minute. That's an opinion you're basing on facts and books in past cases. This is an opinion where every individual is different. One guy could take a hit and other guys cannot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, look,
there's a different variable there.
I agree. Look, I'm with
you. On past cases.
I'm with you. If there's a risk of injury on like a regular check, if there's even a risk of that, then I wouldn't play him. Like, let him sit. There's no reason. The team's buzzing.
There's a risk of it. What do you mean if?
There's a risk for everybody of that, but I'm saying beyond like the regular.
Not everybody, because there's guys that are playing every series. They're getting hit and they're not getting a concussion. His risk is far greater because he's already had 2 in one season, and one was in practice that he hardly hit anybody or whatever. Yeah. Didn't even hit anybody. So
I'm with you.
It's not anybody could get a concussion. There's a far greater risk with him.
Okay, Dr. Coach Ed.
It's not a doctor.
No, there's a medical opinion on this issue. That's my point. The medical opinion on that, not Coach Ed opinion, but the medical opinion on the risk is what I care about.
We'll put a bow on this with Verticelli's comment on Instagram. This is a blessing being deep enough to have this conversation at all.
Yeah, it seriously is. Like we said, 15 guys with a point. I could see Laviolette saying, okay, Phil, you're ready, and I'm still not going to play you because we're buzzing. And let's see how it goes in game 1.
Let me ask you this question. Let me pose this question to everybody on X. We're
Coach Ed on
complaining-
X, by the way, at Coach Ed 77.
People are
Make sure you guys
complaining the
follow.
Rangers are not playing strong defensively, that Washington took it to them quite a bit. Putting Filipino in makes them a better defensive team.
You'd be surprised at what people think of Filipinos defense.
I just asked
Because
you,
you
a
wouldn't
question.
agree
I
with
would-
it. You
I'm
wouldn't
asking
agree
you
with
a
what the
question.
analytics say about Filipinos defense. It's actually
What
pretty
would-
good.
You're telling me he's a better defensive player, would help the team.
I think his speed. I mean, look, he could be a liability because I'm concerned about what Little Ed is saying. He hasn't played a game since November, so I'm hesitant.
Speed.
He's got more speed than anyone in the lineup. He's the fastest player on the team. I mean, the
Oh,
Rangers.
stop. All right, next conversation.
No, he is. Maybe
But no.
Razovic. Razovic's probably faster, but that's it.
Okay.
I was in a
That's
good
it.
mood. I want to go to bed soon in a good mood, please.
Well, get ready for Filipino against Carolina, guys.
It ain't happening. Enough.
If it's the Islanders, I think it's Rempe though. I don't think you play him against the Islanders. You go Rempe. But anyway, look,
I
boys,
agree with Paul Gaduzzi. If the only way he gets in the lineup is if someone goes down and gets hurt.
we'll see. We'll see, Paul. We'll see. I think he's coming in soon. You guys better get ready. And I want all the Ranger fans out
I'm
there.
not the
saying
one
that
that
he
has.
shouldn't
I'm
play.
not the one that has to get ready. He's got to get ready.
No, you guys got to get ready to root for the kid and not root against him.
I'll
'cause
root
he's,
for him, but
all right.
he better be ready to take a hit and not give
Coach,
the puck up. See what happens.
I expect when Heedle's in, and I'll end it on this because I know Little Ed's getting annoyed. I expect when Heedle's in and he scores that you actually text the group chat about the goal. I want an
definitely will.
actual text. All right. And if he
I
gets hurt,
guess-
I'll text. You know I will. I will text if he gets hurt. So I want to text from Coach Ed about the goal, the analyzing Heedle's first goal in the playoffs. I want to text.
It'll probably be a Pavel Bushnevich goal off of someone's shin guard or something.
All right. So look, who you think Carolina wraps this up in Game 5, and that's who we play, or do you think the Islanders are going to put up a fight? I know all the Islander fans on Twitter are going crazy and acting like they're going to win the series. I don't disagree that they, aren't done. I don't think they're done, but I think they're a little delusional. But I don't think they're done yet.
No, I don't think they're done. I think they're definitely going to put up a fight, but I don't see it going further than 6 games. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe give them one more, another they might squeak out another overtime shocker, but Carolina's got to step on the throat at some point.
I don't know, Ed. If they could beat Carolina in Carolina, next game will be right.
If they beat Carolina in Carolina, they're forcing a Game 7 at UBS for sure.
That's what I'm thinking, and then you never know, man.
Yeah, then
Yeah, I
anything
mean,
happens.
Yeah, I think Ryan says I think the Isles bring it to 6. They might, I mean, look, I watched that last game. They fought hard in that game. That was a hell of a game. And Carolina is not playing well. Carolina should dominate the Islanders. And I know everyone's talking about the shots on goal difference, the puck possession, but the chances are not that great for Carolina. Yeah. They're like a team of cocos. They control the puck and skate around the offensive zone and they get these shots.
Yeah, and Freddie Anderson, he's playing well, but that dam's going to break at some point. And even if Carolina comes out of this series, which I think they probably will, their confidence is going to be shot after playing or getting outplayed in some aspects against the Islanders. Their confidence has to be a little shot after that.
Yeah, I don't see them having the power rankings that these analysts were talking about in the pre-playoff power ranking episodes. I don't see them playing that strong. Pesci gets hurt and the defense falls apart, kind of. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll keep a close eye on that. I think their next game is Wednesday. Tomorrow night.
I mean, Brindamore had a guard. All right. Who do we bring it in? Well, we got D'Angelo. Who else do we got? We got D'Angelo. Who else do we got?
Yeah, seriously. So the Islanders play Tuesday against Carolina. If Carolina wins that game, the series is over. But the Rangers are still going to have to wait till the first round ends probably before they start round 2. So they got some time off here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the Islanders can put up a fight and end up losing. I'd rather play – I don't want to say I'd rather play Carolina, but I welcome, the Rangers playing Carolina and killing that narrative. The Rangers, they play well against Carolina. They match up with them, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them playing the Islanders. I don't care. This is a good team. They just swept their first-round opponent and won the President's Trophy, boys. We should be in a good mood. Little Ed's got to go to bed, though. He spent the whole day golfing. Where are you, in Myrtle Beach?
In Sunset Beach, North Carolina right now.
All right, I love North Carolina. I'm so jealous. That's your second time there in like a month.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well,
I
was passing through last time. This time I'm spending a few days.
What'd you shoot?
Today I shot a 95, which not great, but we're getting better. My
About
second
20
round
strokes
of the season.
I heard from Eddie Brown that you had a Happy Gilmore moment.
Oh my God! Yeah, quick story. Oh my God, dude. So we get there. Oh my God, we get there, and I want to say it was probably like a 350-yard par 4, like a short one to start, like the first tee box. So we get up there. I get the tee box. I tee it up. We're just standing around like bullshitting or whatever, like waiting for the group in front of us to hit. And the starter goes, "All right, I think you guys are good." I'm like, "I don't know, man. Are you sure?" I didn't even look at the yardage. I'm like, "All right, whatever. It's a par 4. They must, like, the starter's telling me to go, so they must be way up there." I'm like, "Are you sure?" He goes, Yeah. There's no way you're gonna hit them. I step up. This is literally the first drive of the season. I haven't swung a driver since October. Like, literally, no practice swings, didn't hit the range, nothing. I step up there and strike probably the best drive of my life. And the people are driving from like one side of the green across to the other to the cart path. Perfect timing. It takes one hop off the dead center of the fairway and smacks this woman right in the ass driving across the fairway. I literally just turn and look at the starter. I'm like, "Why'd you tell me to hit?" And it was this old guy. He just had like a look of shock on his face. It was unbelievable. He goes, "Dude, I had no idea you were gonna hit the ball like that." I was like, "Neither did I." "Neither did I, but they're a lot closer than we thought that they were, aren't they?" Like,
they're only 30 yards away. Come on,
Yeah, so then we drive up. I'm like, "Harry, we got to say something to these people." We drive up and my ball's gone. And Harry's like, "They must have taken the ball or it's in their cart or whatever." So I'm like, "All right, let's just get this over with." So we drive up. I'm like, "We're really sorry. Like, do you have our ball?" She goes, "Yeah, it hit me right in the ass. Like, here it is." And like, she had the ball.
Play where it lies.
It was crazy. I was like, "I'm so sorry." The starter told me to hit. Like, it was unreal, dude. I felt so bad. And she was like, "You owe me a drink, honey." Like, just being like so nice and Southern. I was like, holy God. It was literally like the first tee box of the first hole of the day. It was crazy. It was hilarious.
And this after our commercial idea with Coach Ed.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, tweet from Vince Mercogliano from the Low HUD Sports. The Rangers became the first team ever to hold Alex Ovechkin without a point in a playoff series. When informed of this and asked how they accomplished it, Artemi Panarin just smiled and said, "It's a secret."
What a character.
Best comment, the trick was to wait till he was 40 years old. So that's funny. Dear Penthouse, that's funny. All right, guys.
I think that is I'm not going to say it goes unnoticed, but that's a really, even though he's at the end of his career, that's a phenomenal stat. That guy shoots. I've seen him play the Rangers during the regular season where he's got like 7 blasts on net, and it just never ends.
A shift.
And they help him without a shot. He's not a dynamic player that's going to go end to end very often. He's always the one around the net on the weak side, ripping that one-timer. I bet you that's 3/4 of his goals in his career, which is phenomenal. But if they can hold that shot in check, we used to say it for years. How does no one cover him? But they had Backstrom. They had other guys that they couldn't cover everybody, and now they didn't. So that, to me, was the difference. And I'm sure the coaching staff recognized that. And, that's how they did it. And they executed it.
Just got to cover him. I've been saying it. I've been saying it for about 20 years. Just cover the guy. He stands still in the power play and just takes clappers.
Yeah, it was insane. But they weren't the only team that didn't cover him, so it's hard.
All right, well, that's the end of MSG for the year. After the first round, it all goes national, so no more Sam and Joe this year. Another good year by MSG. Obviously, Sam tonight was in epic form. It was great to watch, but no more Sam and Joe, which kind of sucks. The Rangers, the first team to advance.
Can we do a broadcast?
I mean, the only thing I noticed was he called Trocheck Panarin and Panarin Trocheck like 3 or 4 times. I mean, other than
How about
that,
the handshake line? They're looking at Laviolette and Sam's going, "Oh, this is the part of hockey that is, this is what makes hockey this." And Joe Micheletti goes, "He just knows all of them, Sam."
yeah, he knows them all. Well, he coached them last year. I mean,
I know.
Paul Gaduzzi on YouTube says, I think they'll do post-game shows. I don't actually know the answer to that. I'll keep an eye on that. I'll let you guys know on Twitter if I see it.
They might have post game
sure.
on MSG still.
I think
I'm not sure.
I want to say 2 years ago they did pre-games and post-games.
I mean, you got to think they're going to pay Giannone and Valaket and all these guys to go into the studio for a 30-minute post-game or an hour post-game. I don't know. I mean, I hope they do.
They have the ads for sure.
Yeah, I'll miss it, but we'll see.
TJ Oshie had a broken hand. I just saw the whole game.
Real quick before we sign off and end this, did you guys see that incident in the AHL with the handshake line where Kyle Clifford attacked Boko Imana on the other team during the handshake?
No.
It's all over the internet. It's crazy. What a disrespect for the game to do that. I'm glad to see guys like Wilson and Panarin shook hands. I saw the image again later. They shook hands. Ovechkin and Panarin hugged. That's the game. It's hard. You fight hard and then you shake hands and you end it. That's it.
Yeah.
Win or lose. But okay. That's it. I got nothing else unless you guys got anything else.
I'm all good. Let's go Rangers off to round 2. It's gonna be a battle, a journey.
It's gonna
Ryan
be nice
says
to have a few days
pre-game and post-game. Ryan Farrell says pre-game and post-game on MSG. So I hope he's
nice.
Right. That would be awesome. All right, boys. Sign off, little Ed. Get some sleep, bud. Enjoy golfing tomorrow, I'm sure.
We got another round bright and early.
Nice.
Trying not to hit anyone in the ass. All right.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Later, guys.
Love you
Should
guys.
have been standing there.
That's what Verdict.